Hello, everyone. Welcome to Scream to Scream.
Whoa!
That's right, everyone. It's Halloween time. It's October, and it's time to get back to the Dark Spooniverse.
That good interconnected universe, the Spooniverse.
The Halloween monster serials are back, and so is this non-existent franchise. So last time on the Dark Spooniverse, we did an episode about Count Chocula, and that took place in the 70s. And there was like a goth girl. I think we decided was like trying to make friends. It was pretty much Casper.
It was Casper.
But Casper was fun. So this time we're doing Frankenberry, and right away I feel like we should try to figure out, when does this take place?
It's a good question. That's a good question.
Do we want to make this back in its original time? Because he's a bit of an immortal. Like, I feel like they're mostly all immortals, so like he could start here. I'm thinking what we could do is like we could start with, this is just the book Frankenstein.
Okay.
But it's got a bit of a berry twist to it.
A very berry twist.
A very berry twist. Maybe Dr. Frankenstein is a child, because it's a kid's serial. I'm always trying to bring it back to that. And he creates Frankenberry. Like maybe he shouldn't be literally Frankenstein.
Probably not, because like the whole thing with Frankenstein is a monster's made.
Yeah.
And no one understands the monster, everyone fears the monster, and he feels alienated and just hated, so he leaves civilization and runs away to the Arctic.
Alright, so in this kid's version, is he a reanimated corpse? I feel like we have to cross that bridge.
Alright, so this is an important question to answer. What is he in the serial universe? I'm not 100% familiar with, like...
I mean, I don't think we're given that information. I think here's just like a pitch, an idea.
Okay.
There's like a kid and his family is like, they're like berry salesmen or something.
They're berry salesmen.
And then there's like a kindly, like a big guy who helps them out, that helps his family out, and he gets like killed in some sort of berry accident. And like the kid resurrects him using steampunk and makes him Frankenberry.
Alright.
I don't know if that's good. That sounds like grim, but it should be a bit, right?
It's no grimmer. I mean, it's slightly grimmer than Frankenweenie.
I guess that's true. It's grimmer because it's a human being and not a dog.
Like, I like the idea of maybe it's a small family-run berry farm.
A berry farm, yeah. A strawberry.
What flavor specifically of berry? Is it strawberry?
It's strawberry, yeah. On the box you can see there's a strawberry on there.
You're right.
So it's strawberries. There's strawberry a sales family of they're the strawberry farmers. They sell them.
I gotta say, that's disappointing from an origin story standpoint. You can't really do much with strawberries. Whereas cranberries, you have a whole bog to work with.
That's true. Oh, a bog man.
Right.
Oh, that'd be so good.
I was like just getting started in my head. I'm like, all right, so he's gonna die in the bog, and I'm like, but I'm pretty sure there are no cranberry flavored cereals in the world.
Oh, man.
The world's not ready for a cranberry breakfast cereal. Again, I like the idea of family-run farm, olden times.
Yeah. 1800s maybe.
1800s is fine, because again, I feel like the origin story is only the first act, maybe only a portion of the first act.
Right.
And then we're gonna hop forward.
Yeah, we'll see, where the story goes, like, whatever serves the story best, what time period works best. So, I think the angle of him being misunderstood is like, it's Frankenstein. You kind of have to.
Yeah, it's easy. I imagine we should do like a bit of the family understands, but when someone who's not part of the family finds out, maybe the farm's burned down, he runs off, he learns to fear man.
It's one of those very simple stories where it's like everyone hates this guy because he's weird and creepy, whatever, and then when it's like, when the real danger shows up, he's the big, strong, like, he saves everyone, and it's sort of like, wins them over or something. The personality of Frankenberry, he seems like pretty much like unaffected by his monstrous...
Yeah, when we see him in the commercials, he's basically just a happy, fun monster who wants to shill his cereal to people.
And he's Boris Karloff, like, his voice is a Boris Karloff voice. Like, he's he's very, like, refined sounding. He doesn't sound like
he sounds like the monster would at the end of the book.
Yeah, he's like, oh, Frankenberry.
The farm's not doing well.
The farm's not doing well.
Farm's not
yeah.
doing well.
Mm-hmm.
And so one of them's like, you know what? Science is a big thing. I bet through science we could improve our berries.
Okay.
We could have a better berry through science.
Yeah.
So we could establish like a bit of a super science situation.
Yeah. Oh, that cranberry would be so...
Right? A cranberry bog would be perfect.
The cranberry bog would be perfect because there's a bog man already in the bog. And he doesn't have to die. He's been dead for a while.
They just had to bring back
and he's been
via strawberry magic.
all right.
Cranberry magic.
Wait. Okay. How about this?
All right.
How about this? It's a family... and they're cranberry farmers or whatever.
Okay.
But they gotta branch out. They gotta do something new. And all they know is bog farming. And so they make a strawberry bog.
Ooh.
And they wake up a bog man with their science.
So
they use science to make a strawberry bog.
Yeah. They crossbreed cranberries and strawberries until they're growing strawberries in a bog.
Yeah. Because I love the idea of a bog man with berries.
Yeah.
I feel like we could do that.
I mean, there's nothing that says we can't. My only reservation is like,
Sure, yeah.
I would be 1,000,000% on board if the cereal was like cranberry strawberry flavored.
Yeah.
Like if there was even a hint of cranberry involved.
I'm saying like forget the hybrid. It's just all they know is cranberries, but the market's been oversaturated. Like a bigger, fancier company has been taking over, so they got to branch out. And it's like all our generations, all we've known is cranberries. And now we gotta learn strawberries. But cranberries are native to the U.S.
Yes,
so
we would have to change the setting, but that's fine.
That's fine.
When were canned cranberries invented? Berries weren't marketed and sold commercially until the middle of the 18th
Okay.
century. That's perfect timing.
Okay, so they're getting...
They're being knocked out of the market by this big company that's selling their stuff in cans.
Okay.
No one wants the fresh cranberries anymore.
And so they got to branch out, and they got to do strawberries.
They're doing strawberries.
It's like, Dad, we can't grow strawberries in a bog. These aren't cranberries. Like, it's all we know. We're cranberry farmers. All we know is the bog. Wait, why would there be a bog man in the U.S.?
Isn't that
just like a Northern European thing?
It is. I mean, as long as the bog is right, a body could be preserved in a bog. It's just it's a low acidity, low something else content situation.
But aren't
low oxygen? There we go.
Aren't bogmen like put there, or like
some were put there, some are like they just kind of fell in and were already injured, or some were ill. Like there are accidental bogmen as well as purposeful bogmen, and of course delicious bog butter. Delicious bog butter.
Let's forget about this setting, I think, for now, and because it's either going to be like bogman territory or cranberry territory. I mean, we could, if we really want to make this work, we could say like, oh, they moved from the U.S. to find a new market, and they switched to strawberries. Frankenberry to me sounds like a hybrid of berries.
It does, but it's really just strawberry.
It is just strawberry.
I wish it was a hybrid because we would have a lot more to work with.
What about this? Like I feel like we're going up such a weird tangent.
What if
it's a strawberry that's been genetically enhanced with all other berries?
With all other berries.
It's primarily a strawberry. It is a strawberry.
It's a strawberry, but it has all the powers of the other berries.
Right, it has all the powers. And he's like, I call this the Frankenberry.
Ooh.
You know, like that.
Oh, and then he eats the first one. And someone's like, no, you can't. You have to test it first.
Yeah.
And that's how he becomes.
How does he get steampunk,
Frankenberry. How does he get steampunk? Well, a children's movie would probably just hand wave it away, and he would grow those parts naturally. But that's no good.
I don't know if the dad becomes Frankenberry. I feel like that makes this way weirder and sadder than it needs to be.
Well, maybe we don't want him to be a family man. Maybe
I think it should. I mean, I kind of still like the Bogman idea because it's sort of like it's not sad that he's dead because he's been dead for so long.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like it adds a little bit of creepiness to it.
One thing we could do is, again, we could stick with the failing farm, because that's like a nice reason for why they would go into super science.
Right.
And just the stress of a failing farm broke the family apart. Like the mother takes the kids and leaves, and he's alone with just his one farm hand.
Okay.
So we have like the goofy sidekick, the comic relief can be built in. Mm-hmm. And when he has that Frankenberry he makes the Frankenberry. He's like, this is going to turn everything around. I'll get my family back. We're going to be on top.
Right.
and he eats it, and the other guy, no, we don't know what it'll do yet.
Right. The farmhand tells
the farmhand that his scientific assistant. He doesn't even know how to farm. He's here just for the super science.
Yeah.
He applied for an internship. And
he's the one who eats it. The sidekick.
I was gonna go with the father.
Okay.
That way we could have a bit of he lost his family and now he really can't get his family back angle, and he could learn a lesson from this.
But he's not gonna get them back.
No, he's not.
I mean, I don't know. I think the farmhand doing it would be.
All right, we could do the farmhand.
Because I thought the way you were gonna go is that he eats the Frankenberry. It fuses with his body because of how genetics work.
Because of genetics,
you know how it works.
Yeah, I mean we're 87% similar genetically to a strawberry.
Yeah, and so that's possibly
it's
true.
Probably true.
And so in order to bring him back, maybe he goes into a coma or something, or maybe he kind of sort of dies in the Snow White sort of way, where it's you're dead, but it's magic death.
Yeah.
And then they bring him back using modern science, using steampunk.
Using steampunk science. As he's passing out, as his body changes, the doctor could be like, I'll save you, I know it, I'll save you!
He's turning pink and stuff, and he's looking sickly. And then they use steampunk to bring him back to life,
which is why he needs a pressure valve and a release valve on his head, because so much pressure builds up in your brain.
So where does this leave us? We have an origin story without a story.
Yeah.
I guess the farm needs to be saved. I guess the father needs to learn not to mess with things. But the guy has to stay Frankenberry.
Yeah. So farmhand can stay Frankenberry.
Yeah. And it should probably be
But maybe the father's given up on getting the family back, because all he did was create a berry that killed his friend. The one person stuck by him.
Right.
And when Frankenberry finally comes back, maybe it'll be a year later or something. That way we have a little bit of time to work with. And the scientist, after it brings him back, he's clearly given up. He's just science didn't help me. The farm failed. We're basically living on a foreclosed farm. The bank's gonna come any day now. And Frankenberry's no, we can't give up. The farm might be lost, but your family's not. They don't want to see me. And it becomes a story about trying to reunite a man with his family, starring a giant freakish monster.
I like the Bogman idea so much.
Do we want to just say screw it, go with the Bogman? Because we're making a movie.
I think
facts don't matter.
I think the way to say screw it is forget that cranberries are native to the U.S. I feel or just gloss over it. Maybe.
Oh, I got an idea.
Sure.
So we just have our failing farm guy, right?
Yeah.
He's growing strawberries in Europe, but everyone's loving these American cranberries.
Okay.
So he goes to America and he visits a cranberry bog and he goes, I live on a bog. I could do this. So he tries to make his cranberries work. In the bog he has...
But now it's a cranberry cereal now.
No, again, he's trying to make his strawberries grow.
Oh, he's trying
the cranberry.
Okay, he's trying to use. He
takes the wrong thing away from the success of the American cranberry.
Oh, okay. I got an idea.
Okay.
He's a farmer by trade, but he's an centric tinkerer, from Beauty and the Beast, Belle's dad, and so he's technically smart, but he doesn't have a lot of common sense.
Yeah.
And so when he goes and visits America and he sees the cranberry bogs, he's oh, okay, it's the bog that makes it work.
The bog is the secret. I understand now.
So he makes, I'll make a strawberry bog.
They love my strawberries.
Or he didn't even go there. He could be going to a in town, there's a market, and some Americans, they're try these cranberries.
Fresh from Massachusetts. Massachusetts does cranberries, right?
Yeah,
what state is known?
Yeah, I mean, the New England, the Northeast.
One of the states is particularly well known for cranberry bogs.
He goes to this this guy, and he's cranberries, they're the new thing, and it's how do you do this? And he shows him pictures the cranberry bog and in
the new world they use cranberry bogs. Oh, I have a bog.
Yeah, and so he creates the cranberry. See now this is the part where I got lost here. He resurrects Frankenberry. Why is Frankenberry steampunk if he's just a berry zombie?
I mean, that could be a 2-minute throwaway scene where... So, here's my thinking, right?
Okay.
He sees the cranberry bogs of the wilds of Massachusetts.
Yeah.
He goes back to a strawberry farm. He puts together like a wacky strawberry bog.
Okay.
And he's like, all right, all it needs now is a touch of electricity.
Okay, he uses like it's not working. I mean,
yeah.
All right.
I'm picturing like we have this English countryside bog.
Okay.
He's dumped strawberries everywhere.
I'm starting to get into
There's like a bunch of steampunkish parts already in the bog, like doing stuff.
Yeah, right.
And he's just like, all right, we just need a touch of electricity. So he pulls the lever and a big like spire erupts from the ground.
Yeah, I like this.
Struck by lightning.
Yeah, he could have like he does it outside like during, well, of course he does it outside, but he does it during like a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
And then the bog gets struck by lightning.
Bog. You see like all the things he had in the bog burst into flames. The strawberries are on fire.
Because the strawberries aren't floating? But do strawberries float? I don't even know.
I mean, I think if you put them in water, do they float?
I don't know.
Oh, we could just have bushes. Bushes of strawberries.
I guess the idea I was getting to is that they are not floating, so he needs to create some sort of contraption.
Oh, some steampunk perfect like buoyancy situation for the strawberries. All right, so like there's a bunch of steampunk crap in there.
Yeah.
He's like pouring chemicals into the bog.
Right.
And then he puts a lightning rod into the sky. It gets struck by lightning. All of it's on fire. It's exploding. He's knocked on the ground. He's watching everything he spent like weeks building burn down around him. He's just like, it's a disaster. And he goes inside, defeated and dejected. And you see like that hand, that strawberry-colored hand.
Do we even? All right. I don't want to. All right. Here's the idea now, because I like all of that. I want to add to it though,
all right.
Because it feels weird to just sort of like, oh, by the way, there was a bogman in here. Maybe like the beginning should be like further in the past. Like, God, bogmen are really old though, aren't they? They're like super old.
They're pretty old.
They're like medieval era, right?
Some of them, because again, it's not the ones that were ritualistically buried there. Very old.
Okay.
People who just happen to fall in and die.
Okay.
Could be any age, because they found bogmen. It's like, well, we found an ancient bogman, and then like a week later, bogman turned out to be murder victim from 20 years ago.
Oh, okay. So then this guy could be like from like 50 years.
Yeah.
Like maybe like the late 1700s or something.
You could have a cold open where like there's a guy wearing like old-fashioned like slick down raincoats in English countryside, and he gets waylaid by highwaymen.
Yeah,
like, that's how he goes.
Or maybe he's got like a character flaw that he needs to be resurrected to fix. Not that I have figured that out yet, but maybe that's to be something. Like, that's how we introduce him. He's sort of like, this guy has X character flaw, and then through being resurrected as a monster, learns to, like, be a better person.
So it learns to fix that flaw.
Yeah.
Even though he was dead, it has, like...
He's been given a second chance. Yeah.
Has to be a serious flaw.
Well, the flaw, whatever the flaw is, got him killed. I think. So, like, maybe he's been dealing in something bad, and, like he lived by the sword, died by the sword, he gets killed for it, or whatever.
Maybe he's like a very confrontational person.
Yeah.
And that could work because he'll always escalate situations.
Yeah.
And as a monster, that's the last thing you want to do. Is
right, exactly. And also, like, if we go back to the commercials, he always argued with Count Chocula. Like in the 70s, because they became friends like later on. But like the early commercials, it's like, my sweeties are better than yours. Like they call them sweeties. All right, that's pretty cool. So he's been giving a second chance with this farmer in this strawberry bog. He becomes the Frankenberry. He becomes infused with strawberry and steam.
He was a bitter man, but now he's infused with the sweetness of strawberries.
Yes. The sweetness of strawberries has made him less bitter.
All right,
I like that. That's really dumb, but I like it. And so I guess we got to bring the kid back, because maybe like. The dad's like, it's an abomination, what have I done? But like, the kid sort of like his friend. It's sort of maybe
like, nah, he's fine.
Is this like E.T. maybe? We've got an origin story.
Yeah.
We've got a guy who is like maybe kind of a bad guy who gets killed for his bad doing in a, it's a kid's movie.
And again, when we see bad dude, I don't mean...
He's not terrible.
Like, we're talking like a murderer or a robber.
He's got a flaw that, like, maybe dying was a bit harsh a punishment for him, but luckily he gets to come back.
Maybe he's a horrifying monster who's cursed with undeath.
Maybe he was a bad father, and not an abusive father. He just like he never showed up to his kids' little.
He was really focused on work.
He's really focused on work.
ill-advised. He was going to like a late-night business situation because it was going to get him more money, and that's why
he's greedy.
He's greedy and miserly.
But he's also beautiful. A beautiful man.
Well, not anymore.
Not anymore. That's the idea.
He was a vain, greedy.
Yes, I think he's very vain.
All right.
And I think now that he's a monster, he can't get by on his good looks.
Ooh.
You know, I think that's the way to go.
Maybe he was a bad father, not because he was too busy with business and he was greedy. Maybe he was a father, but he was like an absentee father because he was too busy with the whole like, the ladies need me. I'm too handsome to them.
Yeah.
Like really lean into the vain bad father element.
Okay, all right, I'm kind of into that.
So when he wakes up and he's no longer beautiful, he realizes he can't even fall back on the relationship he has with his children because he was never there with them, and now he's been dead for like, I don't know, 50 to 100 years.
Is there a twist ending where the kid's dad is Frankenberry's son?
Bum, bum, bum.
Maybe that's a twist later on.
I mean, we could do that. Like
we don't have to like start with that, but that could be like a fun sort of, you know, when he's like, I wish I had one chance to say goodbye to my son, you know, like whatever.
And the kid could be like, oh, I never knew my father. He was a womanizer who disappeared one night.
Yeah. I mean, something like that. I feel like that. Maybe that's like right before Act 3, where it's sort of like everyone kind of opens up.
Yeah. Wait, where did you say you were from originally before you moved here? Oh, I was from the village of Blah.
Yeah.
Son. Father?
All right. Maybe we do something like that. But so he has to be a good father figure, and I guess technically he'd be a grandfather to the kid.
I'm also thinking, so we can get a little bit of symmetry in there, that the father's been so obsessed with saving the farm.
Yeah.
That he's been an absentee father in his own way. That way our monster can see the same thing acting out in a different way. Like,
it's like,
I chased women, you're chasing your berries.
Yeah.
We both should have been chasing our children as we played catch in the yard.
Yeah, he teaches him how to be a better father. There's a lot of learning and teaching.
Like, before they save the farm, they need to save their relationships.
Right.
And then they start working together to save the farm. It's no longer ignore your child at the expense of your relationship with your kid so you could save your farm. It's work together with your kid. Like, the kid has good ideas.
Okay, I've got some thoughts here. I've got some story beats here.
Okay.
So after the initial shock, after like, oh, here's what happened to you, you're a bogman and whatever, there was science involved, whatever, and it's sort of like, after all that's out of the way, he's like, well, bye, I'm going to start my new life. And then, like, he is scaring everyone because he is a zombie. And so he realizes he has no friends anymore. All the people he used to, all his connections are, like, dead.
Everyone's dead. No one wants to be around him because they fear the monster.
Maybe there's, like, one very old guy who is, like, terrified of him. And so now the only friends he has are these two. And so, like, he's like, fine, I'll work on your farm and we'll be friends or something like that. And so, like, they find out he's got, steampunk strength. He's got, like, zombie strength. And so he's able to, like, harvest, like, the berries with them. And, like, he's got, like, powers where maybe he could, like, reach, like, he's got, like, go-go gadget arms or something. Like, I don't know. But he's, like, and then he starts to, like, take pride in the work. And he's, like, he enjoys the family. And... then they start to be like, there's like a real friendship there.
Maybe. So the farm's failing, right? I'm not good at farm.
Oh,
neither of you.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know how we're going to write it convincing they saved the farm by doing blank. Like, what would they possibly change? So maybe the angle isn't they saved the farm by being better farmers, because we can't write that.
No, I certainly can't. But, at least not in this, like, half-hour segment we have here.
But what we could do is... they're growing strawberries. That's already happening. They're just failing to sell the strawberries. So maybe they realize that Frankenberry, he produces the perfect temperature to make the most delicious strawberry jam. He has the strength to crush the berries. He has a little steam valve. When he puts the bottle against that, it makes the perfect jarring temperature.
He's making preserves.
He's
He's been preserved.
Yeah.
Oh, who would know preserves better than a bogman?
Preserved man.
That's perfect.
So, like, they start selling strawberry jam.
Okay.
So it's still strawberries.
I like that.
That's how they're saving the farm.
That's like, I think that's like the midpoint when they're trying to figure out what's the next big idea, and like and he like accidentally makes jam or something.
Like, we could do it where I want it to be the kid's idea. That way, like, the father learns, like, you know what? I've been ignoring my kid to try and save this farm. He's been the answer all along. Like, he's young, he's youthful, he has ideas.
Maybe the kid's talent is, like, marketing.
The kid's talent could be marketing, or it could just be, like, the father is thinking outside the box, but too far outside the box. Like, he tried to make a brand new berry.
Or he's thinking outside the wrong box.
Yeah,
like,
whereas the kid's like, we have good strawberries.
Yeah.
We just can't sell them as strawberries. We're like a remote farm. We can't get them far enough before they spoil. Preserving is the solution.
Yeah, I like that. That's,
so, like,
that's good.
The kid's just sensible. He's a sensible kid.
So, like, the dad's like, oh, it's the age of steampunk. We need to get up with the new technology.
Yeah.
And it's like, they're good berries, Dad. We just need to find a good way to get them to people.
The berries are spoiling before they reach the people. That's all the problem.
We need better berries! It's like, no, we just need to preserve them. And that's when they get the idea, because they have the preserved man who is better now, having been preserved.
He's a better person.
This is all coming together. I love this metaphor. This is so good. All right, we're really coming together here. So
we need an antagonist now, I guess, right?
I mean, we could just have like a better berry salesman, like that could be like the antagonist, like the ticking clock. It's like, well, guys, it looks like your stupid berries will never get first prize, or maybe. Wait, is that Cranberry Man still in the mix? Because if he is, he could be the antagonist.
I mean, we could certainly introduce the Cranberry Man.
Yeah, because like if the Cranberry Man gives him the idea for the bog, then he could come back in. It's like, oh, a strawberry bog. Like,
I kind of like the idea of having the Cranberry Man, because he could be an American who's expanding his market into Europe. Yeah. And he could be very angry because at first he shows up, there's no competition.
Yeah.
Like the port town where the strawberry farmers have been trying to sell their berries is far enough away that they can't get the berries there fresh. People aren't buying the strawberries because they go bad in a day or two. And the cranberry guy's showing up just like, hey, my cranberries are great and I'm shipping them overseas. Yeah. So when the strawberry jam hits the market and people aren't going with his berries, he might get desperate. Maybe he wants to sabotage them.
Yeah. And that's when he discovers the monster.
And he starts spreading rumors. And, like, incites
there's a monster in there! But So the Cranberry Man finds Frankenberry, and like Beauty and the Beast, he kind of gets like the townspeople like. Maybe they trap him in like the windmill or something. I don't know. I like to draw in a little bit from like the Frankenstein imagery.
Like angry mob shows up, they try and burn the farm down, but it turns out one of like. Obviously, this kid has friends.
Yeah.
So maybe like a friend of one of the mob is in the house, and the house is burning down. It's like. No, Billy was in there. He was hanging out with me. We're playing hide and go seek. Oh my God, my own son was in that house, and like. Our big strawberry monster goes in, risks his own new unlife to save this kid, and the village people realize, like, hey, this guy's all right. He's just different. He's not bad.
I got it. What if it's more spoilers, but Edward Scissorhands?
Okay.
That ending where like the quote monster saves the day and is presumed dead.
Yes.
And everyone's sad, but he's actually alive. Like, I think that's the way to end this one, where, like, the kid knows he's alive, maybe the dad knows, but the townspeople think Frankenberry's dead.
And they just feel bad.
They feel bad,
they realize he was a good guy.
Yeah, but now, like, there's no more monster problem, and that's, like, when maybe Frankenberry decides to hit the road, like, I don't know where I'll turn up in this crazy world. Yeah. And then, like, of course, he comes back in a later movie. Or, you know what? I mean, like, this takes place in the 1800s. Like, he doesn't have to leave. Like, he could just be there.
Yeah, we could just have the movie
He could be their mascot, and then that's the end of the movie. And then years later, we find out what had happened in the next movie.
Like, the post-credit stinger that sets up the next movie could be about someone, like, researching, like...
Yeah.
I've heard reports in the 1800s that there was a monster that sold strawberry jam.
It's
Follow the cereal. Follow the marshmallows.
I hope you enjoy this installment of the Dark Spooniverse on Scream to Scream.
Woo!
If you have other ideas for this show, be it Halloween themed or not, let us know in the comments, and we might get to them in time.
Stay spooky.
Ooh, spooky.
Oh no, it's very spooky.
So spooky.
So spooky.
We could do that thing where the monster doesn't even get named.
doesn't really need one.
Frankenberry is the name of the berry, and we never it's like Man of Steel. They never say Superman. Like they never say Frankenberry in reference to the monster in the movie. I think that's very fun.
That's good.
I hope you enjoy this installment of the Dark Spooniverse on Scream to Scream.
Woo!
If you have other ideas for this show, be it Halloween themed or not, let us know in the comments, and we might get to them in time.
Stay spooky.